L'Arche. So can you elaborate more on just your mission and core values as an organization?
Yes, so our primary mission is to celebrate the gifts of adults with developmental disabilities. We are a relationship-based organization, so our primary focus is on building relationships with one another, and we don't necessarily believe that people with disabilities or without disabilities have any different gifts. It's just different abilities. So we focus a lot on doing with instead of doing for. So like in Lisa's house, we have her help set the table and have them help clean their own rooms and clean because it's their house just as much as it is our house. And we have a little bit different model because we have space in all of our houses to have rooms for assistants to live. So the assistants are the workers in the houses, so there are some that live alongside, and it adds to the family atmosphere, really.
Nice. And how many houses are there?
So there are 4 houses in Cleveland,
Okay.
and in those houses we have 13 core members total.
Okay. And are the houses like near each other, like all in this neighborhood?
Yes, well, not in this neighborhood, but all within a 10-minute drive.
Okay.
So there's one house just down the street, actually.
Okay.
And then another 2 houses on, you guys probably passed one of them, it's on Monticello, and then the other one is right off of that. So all of them are within like 15-minute drive.
Nice. And then how do you guys work to foster a sense of like community amongst your members?
So like this event is one of them. What are you looking for? So one of like these events are one of the big ways. And then also we just in day-to-day life, all of the houses have dinner together. So each house has their own dinner routine, and part of that is like actually sitting and eating together and not having the TV on, not having tablets, not having phones or anything like that, and just talking. And then, Lisa, is there anything you guys do after dinner that helps you guys kind of feel like you're more of a family?
You have to clean up.
But what do you do every night? After dinner.
Still staring at the TV.
They watch Medea.
Do you do Medea every night?
Yeah.
What about before you guys leave the table? What you and I used to do a whole lot, and Brenda, you used to do it with me.
Clean off the table.
What would we?
Yeah, that one.
What would we do?
Swing low.
We would sing songs. So a lot of times we sing after dinner. Some houses pray after dinner. So each house has their own individual kind of routine and for the entire night. So then some houses will watch Medea all night. This house, they all really, really like spending time in their room, but they will all watch Disney movies, or they have Disney Plus.
Are you there? You give them movies check. Are you there?
Are you there? I don't know that movie.
I don't like that movie.
Are we there? Oh, the Are We There Yet movie?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
I don't like that movie.
Celebrations are a big part of L'Arche, and so, like you heard one of our core members talking about their birthday, which is in 3 months. You would think it's tomorrow, but so we get ready for birthday parties months in advance, and so stuff like that, just little celebrations. And just spending time together is the biggest way that we form community, I think.
And then what kind of like challenges do you guys face in like a day-to-day setting, and how do you work to address them?
So we're definitely very similar to family. So any conflicts that you would have in your own home with like siblings or even your parents, we have those. So some things like whether somebody wants to shower after dinner first or if they want to wait until later, that can be a conflict. And so the way that we kind of we talk about those things and we kind of set up routines, and it really works because in L'Arche, it's not like we just bring people in without kind of making sure they're a good fit. So right now there is an opening in one of our L'Arche homes, and when we would bring somebody in, we wouldn't just pull somebody in off the street and be like, okay, you're gonna live here, it's gonna be great. We would make sure that the other people in the houses got along with them, that it was a good fit, and then ultimately the core members decide who's going to be in their home and who's going to be in their community. So that kind of automatically sets us up for a little bit easier time of addressing challenges. But we also have things that we call house meetings, which the houses kind of get together and they talk about what they want to do. If they have something that they've been having for dinner that one of them really doesn't like, they have the opportunity to say, hey, I don't want to have spaghetti anymore, and like little stuff like that. So communication, I think, is the biggest issue, and just being aware of the fact that there will be conflict, because when you have people that live together, there's always going to be things to work on, and kind of being aware of it is also a big part. So, but I think that the biggest thing is that all of the core members get along for the most part, and that because even
Get along with them.
even when you're having a bad day,
I know.
you still really like being able to say hello to Brenda and do your inside
Oh, they're
jokes.
best friends.
Hello.
Yeah, you're best friends, aren't you? Yeah. They also get to like, so he and I go to dinner a lot, and if there's a day that they don't want us to come over, they can say like, no, not today. And, like we would never get offended. It's just like today's not a good day. So and so's having a bad day, and that's perfectly fine.
We meet to your house.
Do what?
We meet to your house.
When with what?
We meet to your house.
Can you move to my house?
No, we went to your house.
You went
When
to
did
her
you go
house?
to my house?
I don't know.
I don't think you've ever been to my house.
Are you talking
okay.
about my house?
I don't know.
You came to my house once. Remember we watched? I think it was Pete's Dragon.
My house is
Yeah, that
tiny.
one.
And since Gloria couldn't come over to my house because there's stairs, we wouldn't do that to y'all.
So, even outside of the workers and everything, we all kind of have a good relationship. And a lot of us have been part of the community for like a long time. Jen, our community leader, she's been part of the community for over 30 years at this point. So she really has like grown alongside the community, and we, because we're so focused on relationships, we do things that other group homes might not necessarily be okay with. Because all of the core members came to my wedding.
I know.
Yeah.
I want to chill at that one.
Well, I'm not Catholic, so I didn't need you to serve.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I can hear us.
But so, not in every group home, you might not have that type of relationship with the people that work in the homes. So that's something that has made me stay at L'Arche for as long as I have.
I guess piggybacking off of that, how does L'Arche promote inclusivity and diversity within the homes and the community as a whole?
Again?
So within the homes, or within that, or like out,
I
like
guess both. In the homes and outside.
So in the homes, one I said earlier, one of our kind of key phrases is doing with instead of doing for. So there aren't any, like, none of our core members we take care of 100%. Even the ones that have more difficulties, we still encourage them to do what they're able to do. And it looks different for every person. So Lisa can set the table completely on her own, whereas Gloria might need a little bit extra help, kind of passing things out. And so we adapt what the task is to the person instead of just, oh, well, it's harder for them to do it, so I'm just going to do it because it'll be faster. So we try and make sure that they're able to kind of be independent as much as they can and do what they're able to do instead of making it easier for the people that work in the houses. And then in the outer community, we really try and model our relationships with people with disabilities and live by example. And honestly, there have been times that I've been out with the core members and people have been like, "Oh, is this your mom?" Like, and I'm like, "No, this is just a friend." And they're like, "Oh, it looks like your family member." And that's kind of how we do that. And we want people to see the relationship between people with disabilities and without disabilities as it doesn't matter what your ability level is, you can still have a relationship, have a friendship across ages, across races, across sexualities. It really doesn't matter that we're all the same and we all have something to learn from each other. So, yeah. Does that answer that question? Yeah.
Sort of going off of like how you adapt tasks to different people, are there training programs like vocational training, like opportunities for people living in L'Arche?
So it all depends on kind of the core members' interests on where they go. So one of our core members works at McDonald's. So she has a normal job in the community, and she kind of just does her own thing there. And then other places, they're called day programs where they have different tasks and stuff. And then some of our core members are actually retired and go to a retirement program where they don't earn any money, they don't necessarily have a job, but they still go and get out of the house. And then a couple of our core members are straight up retired and do not do anything. Eddie, the guy in the salmon shirt with all the necklaces, he has been retired and he is the happiest retiree I know. He will wake up, have his breakfast, and then go back to bed and sleep for another 2 hours. Wake up and have lunch and do the same thing throughout the day. And I'm like, I want that life. Like, so, and listening to them on saying when they want to retire, when they want to keep on working. So it's definitely their choice, up to them on what job fits best for them. So, and like we said during prayer, there are a couple of them that are waiting to go to jobs, and we're working on it. So,
And our final question is, what are L'Arche Cleveland's long-term goals and plans for the future, like an expansion or for the people living?
So because we are, because we're so relationship based, we intentionally keep ourselves kind of small. We like to make sure that we know all of our core members really well. So while we would love to expand ourselves, our priority is making sure we are able to do it sustainably. So right now, because we don't have as many assistants, we don't want to build another house because we don't want to get to the point where we don't know everybody. So I think the next long-term goal for us is actually to not necessarily have another house, but to have other forms of outreach, whether that would be a L'Arche day program, where people from outside the community could come in, spend the day and be part of a L'Arche program and then go live elsewhere. Other L'Arche communities have that format, and that is something that Jen and I have talked about long term would be awesome, but it's just such a different form of funding that it's like kind of a really long-term goal. I think the closest short-term goal is actually to have our own location that we'd be able to have events like this that wouldn't be in one of our houses. So to expand our office space where we'd be able to host community events as well as outer community events, so we could have a night where we had like an open house where people could come and do like a dance, where people from L'Arche Cleveland could come, and then maybe people from Koinonia or other group homes could come and like to kind of expand our reach that way. So,
Okay.
yeah.
That's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.